Mm-hmm.
Hey Bubby, hey TJ. We're hoping that this technology serves you well. We got a fancy new little MedReady little pill dispenser. It served Tim and Claudia real well. And I'll give you a little crash course on how to start this thing up. You can always read the handy dandy instructions that are sort of in English. Val and I failed miserably trying to do it the first time. So hopefully with this video that you'll be able to not fail as badly as we did. So first things first is when you get this to Indiana, you're gonna need to open this thing up first thing. So on the back of this, we have a little bit of gaff tape on here holding the battery cover on. Just carefully peel that guy off. And inside the old battery door is the backup battery pack. This thing needs to be plugged in first before it will actually do anything. So it's a little keyed little D plug here, and that plugs directly into the bottom of the clock. And this is a battery backup for the alarm in case the power fails, so that you have ability to dispense pills. I've never had a power failure that really cooked this whole battery pack out, so I don't know how long it really will last, but hopefully your electricity is, pretty stable. So once you get that plugged in, there's a 12-volt adapter that you want to grab your cord and plug that guy in. Don't worry, you don't have to, pick a permanent location for this right away, but for testing purposes, you're gonna just want to plug that guy in. So that barrel plug plugs in there, put the little cord out the hole, and you can flip it around. So now you got blinking 12 o'clock. That's what's going to come on as soon as you start the thing. And now there's the security keys that are going to be included in the envelope with this guy, and these will need to be guarded. And that fits right in there. There's a small tooth that you line up, and you just turn it clockwise, and it is now open. Follow the arrows to go and unlock the thing. All you need to turn is just a little bit. You see that? I'll do it again. Turn it just a little bit, and it opens up, and you lift straight up. Let's put it back on. Close it. Turn the key. Now the lid can't come off. Turn it again. The key cannot come out while it's still open. So now you twist it, and the lid comes off. See that? So we'll put that lid aside. And now is introduction to the inside of the pill dispenser. The holes are pretty intimidating. And how you actually see these holes is, I don't know if through this camera you see that I left you a note here. One of these holes leads to empty, and there's a black stripe that where you want to start it at. And that lines up with this little copper arrow that's on the clock itself, on the dispenser. So as soon as these things line up is where you want to start it. So you can actually take the whole tray out and misalign it, and then you're in trouble. But where you need to start this is that black line needs to line up with this little copper line. You'll get this wrong the first time when you start dispensing it, and you say, oh yeah, the black line needs to line up. So just make sure that's in there. You can't really turn. You could force it, but just shaking it will keep it in the same spot. So that's just something to know. So that's the pill tray. We'll leave that aside. Looking at the clock, it's just a regular alarm clock. How you set the time is you hold the time set button here, hold it in, press the hour button, and there it goes. Now you're setting the time, setting the minutes, and then hit the AM PM to make that light go on and off. So right now it's about 1:04 PM because that light indicates PM. Alright, so in order to set when you want these alarms to go off, you got to hold down 1, 2, 3, or 4. You can actually have independently 4 separate alarms. But from what I understand, you have needs that you want it to be 9 a.m., 5 p.m., and 9 p.m. for TJ, right? So for intents purposes, let's check out alarm number 1. All you do is hold down 1, and that 9 o'clock comes up. And because the PM light's out, that means 9 a.m. I've already set that for you. If I come over to 2, that's 5 p.m., right? Because that light's on. And number 3, 9 p.m. So these 3 are actually set for you. You actually have number 4 you can use later on in the future. Maybe he gets another medication that you want to dispense, or you can change all the times to what you like. Now, to make sure that these alarms go off, there's these little indicator lights at the bottom where they will de-illuminate. You see that? So I actually hold down the 2 button or the 3 button and the lights go out, and that means that the alarm will not happen. So in order to turn them back on, you need to hold down the 1 button to turn on alarm number 1 for about 5 seconds and the light comes on. Hold down the 2 button, 5 seconds, and the light comes on. Hold down the 3 button, and the light comes on. And in order to turn it back off, you do the thing in the complete opposite. Just hold down for 5 seconds and the light goes off. So right now, after you set the time, just double check that 9 a.m., 5 p.m., and 9 p.m. is still there. So now, what we got to do is we got to load up the pill tray. You can either do this while it's in the device itself, or you can take it away and load it somewhere else more convenient. I assume that you already have your pills for TJ already lined up, you know, the conventional way, where you have his 9 o'clock a.m. medications in the morning, he's got his afternoon medications for the 5 p.m.s, and then he's got the 9 p.m.s already set. So basically, all you're doing is you're taking the 9 a.m. medications and sticking it in the first hole. So again, leave the first one, leave this one empty. This is very important, and start where the arrow is. So I'm going to take his 9 a.m. medications and sticking it in this hole. And then I'm going to go ahead and do his 5 p.m. medications, stick it in this hole. 9 p.m. So I got 9 a.m., 5 p.m., 9 p.m. Don't skip a hole, because the alarm clock's going to do this automatically for you as they dispense. This is the 9 a.m. medications again. 5 p.m. medications, 9 p.m. medications, and so forth. So you can fill these up 3 at a time for 959s, 959, 959, 959, 959, 959. Unfortunately, you got an extra hole here. You can put a 9 a.m. medication in here, but I would probably not advise you to. Count the number of days that you have in order to, when you need to reload this tray. So assuming you have these all filled up to your liking, you want to line these things back up. Make sure this line corresponds with that black line I left you. Alright, so that's ready to go. We're going to go ahead and put the cover back on, lock it in place, and notice that this hole is very empty right now. That is very important. So if this is not empty, you didn't line it up right. You did not line up that tray. Reopen it to start again. So say it was on this one, you didn't line that up right, because you closed the tray back up. Whoops, there's a pill here, so you didn't do it right. Reopen it, line the tray back up. Alright. Now, assuming that this door is here, alright, it's empty. Imagine that the door's just right there. We're going to test to make sure that we got these things going in the right direction. There's a button here that says alarm test. Go ahead and hit it. Alright. Now that the gadget is going off, going crazy, what you need to do is that you need to slide this door up in order to get to the pills.
I can't see that. Your hand was in there.
What you need to do is you just slide this door up in order to get to the pills. I'm going to simulate that by pushing this door up, and it stops the alarm. Okay? And this is the pills that you're going to be dispensing at 9 o'clock in the morning. Say it's now 4:49. The alarm goes off. 5 p.m. medications are ready for the door. It's ready for it to open. Dispense it. Take the pill. Ready to go to bed. Alarm's going off at 9 p.m. Dispense the door. Take his 9 p.m. medications. Come around next day. 9 a.m. comes off, open. His 9 o'clock in the morning pills are going off right now. Dispense it. It's ready to go. That's about it. It's going to take some trial and error, but I think that this is going to be a lifesaver for you guys. It definitely was for Val and I. We basically filled up the pill tray once a week. You may be able to get a few more because we had to use 4 holes instead of just 3. So you may buy yourself a couple more days. But yeah, I think this will be a really handy tool for TJ. I don't know how many, if you have any questions about it, I don't know if I'll be able to help you remotely or, try to jog my memory.
Ask Jody.
Jody might be able to figure it out. And of course, you can try to read the Chinese instructions too. That's never going to be fun, but it is what it is. Till next time.